All right, so Mr. Brickhouse, let me introduce you first off to the awful ads that you get when trying to look at a CNN website. Jesus Christ. And I don't know if you can see the top ad is for AI. Just what your average
Perfect.
reader wants. More AI. So, headline, Amazon could cut as many as 30,000 corporate jobs. Now, this is from October 27th, so that was, like 12 days ago. They've already had a couple of rounds of layoffs now. But then what I was reading is they're saying that this could go as high as 600,000 employees cut by next year.
All corporate?
Yeah, I think they're saying it's mostly going to be white-collar jobs that are getting cut. It's not the first round of layoffs. In 2023, they cut 27,000 workers. How many employees does Amazon have? Holy shit.
That's a good question.
So
I take it this is a global cut?
yeah, I would assume so, because I read about it from the picture they're showing is of a site in France, according to them. So it said that their overall workforce is around 1.5 million employees, according to the Associated Press. What?
Half their global
1.5 million.
workforce?
Yeah, and then the claims are that they're going to cut another 14,000 jobs, which is only 4% of its corporate workforce. What do you think they mean by corporate workforce? I assume that's the suits, like people that do like the kind of job I do, where you're just like pushing numbers around, trying to get everything coordinated.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what I've been seeing on like TikTok. So remember we were looking at that guy's videos. Anton Daniels, I think is his name. So he's been covering like some of these like TikTok. I don't know what the right word is. Adult daycare is what I've seen it referred to, where these people like they're like usually kind of attractive like younger women, and you always wonder if that's like plays into how they got these jobs. And then they'll be like, oh no, I lost my marketing job, which, I was working 6 hours a week and the rest of the time I was getting lattes and like jogging and stuff. So whenever you see those videos, you kind of understand like how their job was cut, especially marketing. Man, that's gotta suck. Like with how much data analytics we have now and how much access to data we have, the fact that like obviously AI is going to be creeping up to take over that shit. But man, that's scary. But I mean, I guess that's what you've got to expect. You get into a marketing career, there's always going to be somebody younger who has a better pulse on the current market. And now it's, an artificial person that's got a better pulse on the market. But damn.
Well, not just that. Even though they say they don't use AI in like the HR department, for example, they do.
Oh, 100%.
They absolutely use AI.
Dude, I've been watching lies on LinkedIn for a while now, where they claim like, I was telling you this. I tracked it. I'm not going to show it because it's my personal account, but I was tracking all the I can't think of the word, applications that I sent out. And every application, I would track the date I sent it, when I got a response, and what the job posting was. Some of those jobs for some of these major social media companies have been up for a year. Full 12 months, same post. They just repost it every couple of weeks, and then LinkedIn will be like, oh, this is a new promoted thing. And I think, isn't LinkedIn owned by fucking Microsoft now? So
that's news to me, but I believe it.
Okay, let's do a quick web search, even though I said I wasn't going to do this. Who owns LinkedIn? Microsoft. Yep. Oh, in 2016, They acquired it for $26 billion in 2016. No fucking wonder I keep getting served these clearly fake Microsoft jobs. So Microsoft's a big one.
Well, if you own the platform, it's great to serve up fake jobs that funnel into an H-1B visa.
Right, exactly. Again, then you're going to get a subsidy for hiring somebody on the visa. And then, you don't have to worry about hiring these pesky, annoying local workers that have all these HR requirements. It makes sense, but it's just shocking to me that this is not like daily news when for people who are job seeking, because everyone references LinkedIn, or at least in the corporate world, it seems like it. Like nobody wants your business card; they'll just ask what your LinkedIn is, and that whole system. Like the perception is it's like a neutral party that's like, oh, we're just hosting the jobs. What a bunch of fucking horseshit. So LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft, and then the only competition to that site is like Indeed, and I suppose some of the other like surrounding sites like Glassdoor and Fishbowl, but those are all now owned by one company as well. So there's just like basically you have kind of two options, and I'm starting to wonder if you even have two options, or if maybe Indeed and LinkedIn are actually all part of the same company too. But just fucking baffling to me that this is allowed to stand as not a monopoly. It's not in any way illegal. So let's look at the next piece of data here. But this chart is showing the timeline of GPT coming online. There we go. So Chat GPT is released, and then why can't I see what the lines are? So this is total number of
the white
job
line is total
openings.
job openings.
Okay.
Versus the S&P 500, which is an index which encapsulates the top 500 U.S. companies.
Oh, okay. So that's what yeah. If I had any brains, I would realize that that's what the letters mean. The white letters tell you what the white line is. Red letters, red line. Got it. Okay. So at the release of ChatGPT, that's fucking insane. No.
But to be fair, it already started dropping before ChatGPT released.
Right. That's true. And what's that timeline on that? So is that like 5 months? Because back here, this is the COVID drop pretty clearly, 2020. That's this huge dip. And then
you have the crash from the mass hiring, like almost at the tail end of the COVID nonsense. Because they overhired, fine, I get that. But then definitely as soon as ChatGPT is released, I firmly believe it definitely plays into it. I'm not saying it's the only player causing this drop in total job openings, but honestly, let's be real here. Every company is mass adopting AI. Even if they don't know what they're doing with it, they're adopting AI this, AI that. We can replace coding with AI. We can replace this with agentic AI. But they don't know how to really utilize it. And I feel like it's a bubble that's currently blowing itself up until it pops. And what comes after that, once the puzzle pieces fall on the ground and are reassembled, I feel like at that point we'll have responsible and lean AI, if you want to use a corporate term, right? But right now, I think it's just a bubble. People are just funneling money into this thing, thinking it's a golden ticket without realizing how to harness it.
I think you're exactly right, because that was the experience that I had. Every time I'd talk to anybody in one of those companies, that was all they wanted to talk about, is what are you doing with AI? How are you bringing it to the table? And how are we going to use this to, shave off some of these disgusting employees that cost us so much money? And this has been the talk before AI had even shown up. This was always one of the main discussions we had in the corporate world, is where are automation options? Because automation is always the path to better profits. If you can automate something, you can scrape off another gross human that needs money to live, and you can make them not your problem anymore, and you can just earn more money for your, the big name company that you work for. But yeah, so what I'm showing here now, this is like the bubble in a nutshell. Is it being cut off? Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna have to fix this. But effectively, it's that all the tech companies are in this parasitic, circular kind of funding where it all leads back to NVIDIA, because they are the only ones that have apparently the AI chips, which I didn't even understand this, and I don't even know if I still do. So the AI chips are GPU chips. They're not like your standard CPU. You're not your basic processor. And so, for anyone who doesn't build computers, the CPU used to be generally referred to as the brain. And so that was where the processing power used to live. And then rendering graphics was very much a kind of side effort. In fact, the early computers that I built didn't have video cards. Then we moved into needing a separate processing unit for graphics, which was the GPU, video cards like NVIDIA makes. And now I guess the GPUs are the larger processing option, or I can't get my head around why the GPU is the unit that they use for the AI chips. But apparently that is what's being used, and it's not like the video chips that we have in our GeForce cards. It's a $30,000 to $40,000 per chip item. And that's what NVIDIA is booming on right now, is they're the only source of these chips, but they don't make the chips themselves. And they design the chip, and then the chip is made by this one chip maker who makes chips for basically everybody. So there's a single point of failure here, and that's like what's driving up the price and the value, is that only one company is making the chips for NVIDIA or for anyone else who's designing these chips. They also make everyone else's chips, and so that's kind of the overall premise, I guess, of this bubble, is everyone's trying to rely on this one chip, and basically NVIDIA's is the go-to in the market, and all the other companies are just farming these NVIDIA chips to build up their data centers, but none of the services the AI makes is making any money. So like, OpenAI, the company who, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's a pivotal piece to this as well that we should probably speak on. And that is that NVIDIA is also the driving force in investments for startup AI companies.
Explain that.
So they funnel money into these startup AI companies. AI is booming, AI this, AI that. They then agree to build their entire server racks utilizing NVIDIA hardware, thereby shooting up NVIDIA stock.
How is this not criminal? That's so wild.
I don't have an answer to that. I mean, it sounds kind of like a mafia operation, to be honest with you.
Right.
But that actually explains why total job openings are dropping. The economy, if you actually live like a normal human being, you go to the grocery store, like, it's fucked, right?
Yeah.
Inflation is an all-time high. Nobody can afford anything. Nobody can buy houses. But then you see something like the S&P 500 skyrocketing upwards, right?
Yeah.
Your 401k skyrocketing upwards, but the reality on the ground is much more grim.
That's something that I'm confused about too. So this S&P is climbing based on all the profits that these companies are making by cutting jobs, but we seem like on a rocketing path to this inflection point where only the companies make or have any money, so nobody will have any buying power left in the United States. We won't be able to purchase any of this shit that's, if they even make great AI services for the common man, like if everyone wants to start buying Sora 2 tokens so they can make more like, a big titty Princess Padme memes or whatever the fuck people do with Sora 2. Like, even if that goes live and it's an offering, who will be left to pay for that? Like, other than a few AI slop YouTube channels that have enough views to make money, like, why would anyone bother paying into like this AI ecosystem as a regular person? I have no benefit from ChatGPT in my daily life. Like, I can search on Google for something, and using ChatGPT is just kind of like it'll basically search 50 Google searches at once for me. But other than that, like, what's the benefit? The internet's just as dead if I search it myself or if ChatGPT searches it, so I can't trust the information from any source anyway. So why would I ever pay for it? So all of these profits that are blowing up as people lose their jobs, I don't understand who's putting this money in. It has to be just like you were mentioning. It's this corporate cycle where everyone's making deals with NVIDIA. So everyone's like, okay, our stocks are going up. Investors are, investing, I suppose. But I just don't understand the end point. Where's the actual money pool coming from? Who's your audience? Who's paying for this shit? And from what I understand, OpenAI still doesn't make money. They have a model of like, I don't know, they make a few billion a year, but their costs are way more than that. So they're still not profitable and have not been yet. It's just like Lyft and what's that other, Uber and stuff like that when they first came out. And I think DoorDash and Grubhub too. I'd have to look those up. But from what I recall, they were not profitable, or maybe still are not. But everyone was so invested in the tech and everyone saw so many profits for them that they were like, yes, okay, we're all going to jump in on this. This is going to be the next big thing. But the question still stands. How do we make this viable where people are actually going to pay into this? And it's like we're already seeing that people are getting priced out. Like people are stopping using Grubhub. I don't know if people are stopping using Uber and things like that. But for me, when I was in New York, it was cheaper to take a taxi than it was to take an Uber. So
that's wild, first of all. But that is actually wild. But second of all, I mean, you made a lot of good points. It does sound kind of like a Ponzi scheme, for lack of a better term.
Right.
And that's why I keep referring to it as a bubble that's going to eventually pop, because it's not standing on good economics. Good economics would also drip down to the middle class, to the lower class, right? Like a healthy economy would at least have total job openings, you know. I mean, okay, it kind of looks like it's flatlining a little bit, right? But I'm sure if we looked at an updated graph chart, it's going to continuously go down, right? Well, I hear nobody's getting jobs. I hear people are still getting laid off. I mean, I know you're plugged into the tech realm still. I mean, corporations are just laying off left and right.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to be left standing. I don't know who's going to buy the Sora Slot Big Titty Anime Girl 2.5.
Well, even
I don't know, man.
Walmart, instead of laying off, they said they're going to do a 3-year hiring freeze. So
that's just fucking wild.
And they're the biggest employer in the United States. The biggest single employer in the United States is what I read. I don't quote me on my bullshit facts, but that's what an article said. And if that's the case, if the biggest employer in the United States is freezing hiring for 3 years, and you saw like Target just did a bunch of layoffs, and one of the quotes that I saw from them is that consumer spending has collapsed. Like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Nobody has any fucking money. And like, so one of their kind of pushbacks is like, oh, it's not just AI, it's that you brokies aren't spending your fucking dollars anymore. Another related little tidbit that I heard when I was digging through some news articles on this is that 50% of all consumer spending in the United States is made by the top 10% of wealth holders. So
I believe it.
Half of all Amazon boxes and everything that's getting bought up is being bought up by just 1/10 of the population. And so the rest of the 90%, who granted only makes up the other 50% of the buying power, but they're all massively cutting back on their spending. So while the rich people are, loving this stock bump that they're getting, and I guess they're still spending as fast as ever, losing 50% of your consumer force is obviously crippling to a lot of these companies. Which, so Target's dying because not enough people are coming in to spend money. What does this mean for small businesses? Like, how does a small business have any potential to capitalize on ChatGPT, for example, to make their business more efficient or to make more money with their business? They don't. Like, maybe marketing, right? Maybe you can say, hey, ChatGPT, when should I make social media posts and when should I do my marketing stuff? And it can give you the bare bones analytics that it's got available. Assuming people aren't just filling ChatGPT full of nonsense so they can keep their trade secrets, which maybe that's another topic for another time. But surely there's going to be, like, quote, counterintelligence from companies that don't want their secret sauce to just be exposed. So there's going to be some value to filling the kind of sources that ChatGPT is likely to reference with bad data, with things that'll mislead people so that they don't have the same value as like, an investment firm like Merrill Lynch or something like that, right? They're a huge investment firm. They've got a lot of secrets that they've, that they're kind of their sauce. That's effectively what they're selling you when you go give them your account. They'll say, oh, we have all the experience. We know when to invest, when to pull back. That's what Merrill Lynch provides, right? Decades or centuries even, I guess, of experience. But if that all becomes available through ChatGPT, if enough people leak that data and put it in places where ChatGPT can access it, then the value of Merrill Lynch plummets. And I'm assuming they're too smart to let that happen. So surely there's going to be some activity to prevent that. And that's what I'm really interested in, is finding out what avenues are people taking to protect their company interests from AI slop just sucking it all up and becoming the source of that.
Well, that's definitely going to play into when the bubble pops eventually.
Right.
But as I said, yeah, I don't think this is going to pay off for a lot of companies because they don't know how to use the tech. The tech is not mature enough to be utilized the way they think they could.
It may not even be reliable enough. It might be inherently...
Exactly, it's not. It absolutely is not. If you ever tried using ChatGPT or an agentic AI coding platform like Windsurf or whatever the hell, you'll know that it is not yet reliable in any shape or form to actually be like, oh, you're a software developer or you're, whatever software coding team. They can't handle that yet. And I mean, this is the last thing I'm going to say on the topic, because I want to kind of jump back a little bit just to this graph right here, the total job openings graph. And that is, and the question is, and this is why we're probably going to be talking about this in another video and more videos to come, is that if you ship off jobs, right? You outsource jobs on one end. On the other end here, you're trying to mitigate jobs by adopting AI, right? A non-mature platform technology, right? So you're doing that, and to top it all off, again, you're an American worker, right? Outsourced AI here, and you're also competing on a global scale because they're bringing in H-1B visa employees and other employees on other visas to take up jobs because they could treat these people like slaves and pay them pennies to the dollar.
Yeah.
I mean, where are you going to stand as an American worker in 5 years from now, 10 years from now? This is not looking good at all.
I wish I had something to push back against that sentiment, but I mean, right, that's exactly why we're looking into expanding our skill sets, making videos and finding things where AI can't potentially take your job. But AI's already like taken over YouTube with AI's fucking slop. A lot of people are now...
Yeah, but to be fair, that slop is really, really bad, man.
Yeah.
I really enjoy history content.
Well, hang on.
And I'm
Think
looking
about this, though.
up history content. And you not even is like the AI voice, some slop that you gotta, endure. You'll see random images composed by AI. So you'll have like a World War II soldier standing there with like a malformed, melted M16 for no reason. And they pass it off as historic content. Like they're just dropping slop everywhere.
And what I wanted to say about that is think about the people who are not going to have any correction for that information. So there's going to be a whole generation of people whose parents don't have time for them, or they're just too fucking selfish. And so the kid is just going to grow up entirely on their phone. And that's going to form like the way they think. Maybe not necessarily, like not only are they going to be misinformed, but the way they ingest information is going to be shaped by the AI slop, and that's going to be what they're comfortable with. And so that may well become the platform's mainstay. It's going to be AI slop moderated by AI bots, and when you appeal something, an AI is going to fucking kick you a letter saying, fuck you. We took it down and your money's going to go to Sony or whoever.
The true Skynet will be on social media.
Right, yeah. There's going to be no guns, no war. It's just going to be the Wall-E ending where everyone just gets fat and zones out on a tablet and has no contribution. And that's to say nothing of like when skills start aging out, when people who know how to make metal or people who know how to build a chip, people who know how to program the basic of the AI or the basis of the AI, when those people start aging out of the workforce, what is Gen Alpha gonna do? Nobody taught them how to shoe a horse, or how to plow a field or whatever. So, yeah, there's a very doomy and gloomy way to look at the future of things, where we have to just hope that there's like a movement that comes up of young people where they're like, return to Mumki, go back to nature, get back in the trees, learn how to crack a coconut yourself, and they'll have a shot at surviving in whatever, post-tech future we're building for ourselves. Because, in addition to the AI bubble bursting, we didn't even touch on this, but like the U.S. national debt is a bubble that's got to burst at some point. And then when the dollar fails...
Whoa, only so much negativity
okay.
in one video.
Let's call this the end of the bubble conversation. Final thoughts on the AI bubble.
It's going to pop. I don't know when, but it's going to be within the next, I'd say 3 years. Maybe even 2. Let's do 2 years.
Yeah. I hate to agree and offer nothing of a counterpoint, but I was also going to say 2 years. I feel like I've never seen such a like bulging white head of a bubble like that needed to pop. So yeah, I feel like it's totally inevitable. And what's, we didn't even touch on data centers. That's something we got to talk about another time too. But yeah, let's wrap this up and say that's it for the AI bubble. So yeah, watch your AI. It's coming for you.
Mr. Jackson.